I got up yesterday morning and he had been down and unearthed something that was in ramen and a bunch of stuff. Oh, we had chicken pie for dinner. Well, the family had. And he had gotten that out and microwaved. All the remnants are left out for me now. I get up first and try to make
like a crime scene.
Yeah, and there it is. Like, oh, well, look who was down. Look what's happened here. That's it. That's right.
Now, you may have this for later, but or maybe the intervention changed. You were supposed to have a very serious talk last night, but then because you were so slumped, I wasn't sure.
Couldn't. My wife said, "Do you think we should talk with him?" And I was
with who, Biggie?
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I need you to be on your game.
So I have to be much more fresh for that. That might be over the weekend. I mean, I've got to be much more into it and up and on my toes because of my son's behavior and the types of things he does. We have spending money, all those things. You know, we have to
things he's doing, things he's not doing.
Leaving a ramen mess in the middle of the night.
There's another one. That's another one I could say, look at all this stuff that you've left. It just doesn't. Teenager, they never put anything back.
No.
Never put
No,
anything
I can
back.
remember my parents being so angry because and I don't even know why, but I'd leave every cabinet open in the kitchen.
Exactly.
And it's like,
exactly.
Why did I do that? I don't know.
What does
I still don't know.
A tenth of a second to close the cabinet?
Does he make, Kelly, the token effort to at least put a dish in the sink?
No. They are left out on the bar.
Or up in the room?
Yeah, and then if they now they're not even supposed to take food and drink up to the room.
That went out the window 10 years ago.
Yesterday, she said, I want because we were out of cups. We were out of cups of those little tumblers.
Yeah.
And she said, I want everybody to bring down their cups. And boy, they came down and they were just stacks and stacks and bowls. I mean, you find them all over the place. It's unbelievable. My daughter told me she had a checkup or physical or something, and she had lost like 8 pounds since last year. And I said, what are you talking? I said, that's impossible. You're not lost 8 pounds. No way. And I said, what do you mean? And she goes, are you fat shaming me? And I said, no, I don't know. I mean, that's how that term is now in the lexicon. She goes,
well, she hears it. She may not even fully understand
what it is. I won't be. She goes, you're not fat shaming me, are you? I said, absolutely not. There's another. This is we have a Throwback Thursday game on Put Up or Shut Up.
Were you jealous?
Big time. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you
talking about?
What have you been doing? What have you been doing?
Ice cream? Chicken?
Yeah, look what she eats. And she's lost 8 pounds since last year. I said, that's impossible. That's what I said. I said, that's impossible. And she goes, are you fat shaming me? I said, well, I see what you eat. I said,
maybe.
There's no way.
Do you know how much I work out to look like this?
Exactly.
No, I'm fat shaming me.
Yes. I'm trying to fat shame me. I fat shamed her. What is Throwback Thursday today? Biggie told me, I can't reveal the year we're going back to, but we're in the neighborhood of the time that Kurt Russell played Elvis on television. And now, you know, Elvis, that new Elvis movie is coming out a week from tomorrow. And I didn't realize this. See if you knew this. This is about Kurt Russell. Now, he played Elvis on television on an ABC made-for-TV movie. And it was directed by John Carpenter, who did Halloween and some others. Did you know that? I didn't know
I guess I didn't.
I didn't either. This is Kurt Russell as Elvis.
Kurt Russell is Elvis.
Ooh, somebody got a brand new car. You know, Charlie, every time you see somebody driving one of these things, you're some bald-headed guy about 60.
Yeah, right.
I think a guy ought to have a caddy when he's young. Can enjoy it, don't you?
Right.
Whoa!
Oh, man, come on.
Everybody else got one of these, Charlie. Now it's your turn.
Look, you've already given me a car. You gave me a horse and jewelry.
We can do hurt my feelings. It's yours, man. I want you to have it.
There he is. That's Kurt Russell as Elvis. Good impression.
Pretty good.
I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, it got good reviews. I think I remember. I didn't watch it. I've seen parts of it.
My parents watched it. I remember it being on. It was a big deal. I was very, very young. Well, what I didn't know, maybe you knew this, Kurt Russell was also in a movie with Elvis when he was a child. Did you know that?
I did not. Well, he was a kid actor.
Yeah,
I guess it shouldn't shock us.
He was he got in some Disney movies too.
Yeah.
That's how he got his start. But he was a kid. He was on the Graham Norton show, and they were talking about this new Elvis movie coming out. And Kurt Russell said, yeah, I played Elvis, and I was in an Elvis movie.
It was 62, something like that. It was the World's Fair. I was 10 years old, and I got this job, to play this kid that kicks Elvis in the shins, too. He wants to meet a girl, a nurse. So he figures, he'll get this kid to injure him a little bit. He was really a nice man.
Hey, kid, how would you like to kick me in the shin?
How would I like to kick you in the shin?
Huh?
Mister, are you drunk?
No kidding. I'll tell you what. If you kick me in the shin real hard, I'll give you a quarter. Okay, go ahead, play it. Ah! It's a good one. It's a good one, boy.
So that's Elvis with
They
Kurt
even tracked
Russell.
down the clip.
Yeah, they got it. And Elvis was kicked in the shin so he could meet a nurse in the movie, The World's Fair, with a 10-year-old Kurt Russell. And then Kurt Russell, years later, played him in the movie. I hear this guy that's playing him now, Austin Butler, I think's his name, is going to get maybe Best Actor for playing Elvis.
I've heard that he's phenomenal.
Me too.
Someone's watching Entertainment Tonight instead of Jeopardy. I hear.
It's the truth. I have switched.
I couldn't help but notice you drop Entertainment Tonight nuggets all the time. You never drop Jeopardy nuggets anymore.
I think it's because even though I like the hosts they have, I do like Ken Jennings, and I like Mayim Bialik, although I like Jennings better. Since Alex Trebek died, it's not the same.
It's not. I've tried to watch it.
I'm not drawn to it anymore. Is that the reason? Is it Alex Trebek? I just know I've watched it maybe 20 times since he died, and I watched it almost every night when he was alive.
Price is Right is the same for me.
Well,
I know.
I know.
But see, and Bob Barker, yes, is still alive, but it's just not the same.
No.
And I feel that way with Jeopardy. It's just not the same.
But Jeopardy.
Well, the Price is Right changed too because of the pandemic.
Well, I just mean, but before that, to me, and I mean,
of course, Drew Carey's no Bob Barker, but everything on the show changed, the whole dynamic, because that was much more audience driven.
Yeah, they got to get back to that. I watched that. I told you a few weeks ago, and Price is Right now without a big studio audience and bringing them out of the crowd. That's a completely different show. Mm-hmm. But I'm with Biggie. I mean, I don't like Drew Carey as much, but I don't know why I don't like. I mean, Jennings does a really good job. I mean, he's good, and so is Bialik, but. What did Trebek bring to it that was just, he had something about it? It's
longevity, continuity, familiarity.
Yeah. I mean, all those things. He had a style about him. He was so good. You don't realize how good someone is, really, until you lose them like that. You're like, wow, this guy really had it, And
now you're dropping Entertainment Tonight nuggets.
It's the truth.
You hear about the Real Housewives?
I know.
No.
Now I am. And I've lowered.
Did you see Haley Bieber?
No. My IQ is probably down. Because I'm not watching Jeopardy. Yeah. I can tell, my wife and I used to play Jeopardy against each other. And let's say we started playing, if we watched like 25 nights in a row, by night 25, I was just firing. I was just playing. It's like you accumulate the knowledge.
Were the Bronte sisters?
Yes.
What is Wuthering Heights?
But now...
Who's Laurence Olivier?
I couldn't. I'd get on that. No way. I can't even watch the darn show. Dean, you're talking about Kurt Russell playing Elvis. You have a factoid on for us. Go ahead.
Hey guys, P1. So yeah, Kurt Russell has another attachment to playing Elvis, and it's actually in one of your favorite movies, Kelly. If you remember Forrest Gump, when Forrest is a kid, and Elvis actually stays at the house for a short period of time, Forrest shows him how to do the leg shake and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Kurt Russell actually does the voice of Elvis.
Really?
He doesn't play the character. It's not him in character. It's just his voice.
Wow.
It's kind of cool.
That is really
cool.
That's a great factoid. I had no idea. Because he does. We just heard that clip of him playing Elvis back in the 70s, and he got it. I mean, he was right. Not too over the top. Some people are too over the top with it, but he had it exactly right. Thank you, Dean. That is a great fact to know. Appreciate it. Best Elvis I've heard was from our colleague here. You know that. But if you haven't heard...
That's right. He gets a paycheck from this company.
Let me tell you something. If you haven't heard Dave Aiken's Elvis impression...
Move over, Kurt Russell.
Get ready. We were talking about Elvis, probably on Elvis's birthday or death day one time. And old Dave Aiken was sitting in here, and he started talking about
taking off on Elvis,
how Elvis would treat the lady.
And he was a guy's guy. Elvis was. I mean, if you watch some of those documentaries, he'll climb in the back of his limo and, man, did you see that chick, man? Remember that chick? Remember those two chicks in those two chicks in Tulsa?
You do a terrible Elvis impression. I didn't even get what you said. It's about two chicks in Tulsa.
Amen.
You okay, Elvis?
What you think about Elvis,
Colonel? We're worried about Elvis.
I think somebody get him a Gatorade.
He's talking about two chicks in Tulsa again.
Remember two chicks in Tulsa?
No, Elvis, I don't.
Sure, Elvis.
Wouldn't it be incredible?
Time for your medicine, Elvis.
What if we go to this movie that's been so widely acclaimed, and in the limo in one scene, this great actor goes, remember them two chicks in Tulsa?
Elvis Presley, known as a guy's guy. We take you now inside the King's limo. Amen.
Remember them two chicks in Tulsa?
What if that movie is called Elvis? Two Chicks in Tulsa. That's how it should be. Maybe Dave, maybe we're not giving him enough credit that he
He'll
knows
have the
this.
last laugh.
That's right. You remember, I'll tell you a classic Elvis that we play from time to time. It's when the moon landing took place. Elvis was being asked about in the back of a limo.
In a limo. With his boys.
That's right. And that's probably what spurred Dave's comment. He was asking about, hey, man, did you see we did the moon landing? The rocket landed on the moon.
Did the launch chair go off?
Yeah. You could see it in the sky when it disconnected up there. Gigi and him saw the explosion. I didn't know it.
I had lunch.
Because they just launched right over here.
I had lunch. I was buried in a beaver. How was your lunch? No, they don't have sound.
That's what you want to dance, right? They don't have sound.
Elvis, you can't say stuff like that.
Elvis, the camera's running.
I was buried in a beaver.
Mm-hmm.
What? Elvis. We have a tomato. I got a tomato sandwich over here if you want it, Elvis. Here's the movie. This is entertainment news now that is sold for $75,000. It belonged to a guy named Tom Wilson. It's the movie Back to the Future. Tom Wilson played Biff in Back to the Future. And he had, at an auction, he sold a video cassette of it, VHS, still in its original shrink wrap for $75,000.
Good Lord.
I know. Never been viewed. Wilson had, in fact, this guy, Tom Wilson, has 3 copies. He has the original, he has part 2, which sold for $16,000, and he has part 3, which sold for $13,000. But from the original movie, $75,000. So all told there, what has he got? About over $100,000 for the 3 movies that he was in all of them.
I wonder how many working VCRs there are still hooked up and in active use.
I think you'd probably be surprised.
How many there are?
Yeah.
You think, where are you getting tapes, or are people just watching old movies?
Well, I know that, some used bookstores and things still have VHS tapes come in. Others have phased them out. But, up until, you might even still be able to find like a half VCR, half DVD combo.
We had those.
Yeah, that was a thing. Mm-hmm. And I bet those were still, you might be able to still find them being sold somewhere.
Well, how many people are watching movies now on DVD? That's a pretty good number, I would think, wouldn't you? I have a lot of DVDs.
That's kind of dropped, too. Digital just took
I know.
so much.
Yeah, it's all gone, but
I know that what they try to push now is, like, if you buy a Blu-ray, it also has a DVD, it has a digital code. You're buying everything.
When VHS came out, I said to my sister and my father, it'll never get better than this.
This is it.
Okay, this is it.
We've reached the apex.
And when DVD came out, I said to my friend, it'll never get better than this.
Your sister said that. You said the same thing to her 10 years ago.
Actually, VHS, I liked it better because you could record. I was one of the few that I used my VCR to record shows, and I record my Thursday night shows. Friends, Seinfeld, Caroline in the City, Single Guy, and ER. And I West Wing on Wednesday night. I watched them all on Saturday. So great. This is when I was single, man. I was just in there. I had a time shift.
So much has changed.
Yeah. I said never get better than this.
And they're all now available for you. Like I pay for Peacock.
Yeah.
And I was flipping through. It's like, classic TV.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, and the Caroline in the City was there. I was like, my God, I forgot about that.
You can get anything. Yeah, it's there.